2 months ago, I decided to quit alcohol cold turkey. I was facing some of the most important decisions of my life and I wanted to be on my A game. Over the last 60 days, some wild things have happened from being sober that I did not expect. In this video, I'm gonna be sharing my experience with you and hopefully inspire you to take some time off from drinking for yourself. Let's go. So I have not drank in 67 days, 16 hours, 49 minutes, and 23 seconds. I decided to stop drinking because I was coming back to find AppSumo's next CEO. I've been drinking off and on since I was 21. It doesn't mean I would wake up and just get loaded. I have blacked out from time to time. It's not something I'm proud of, and I've tried a lot of things, like just drink on weekends or have just 2 drinks. Now I gotta admit something to you. One of my biggest fears was to not drink for a long period of time. This is before this started. I was like, man, what about birthdays? What about holidays? What about team happy hours? What about dates? There's a lot of fear associated with it. Man, I'm gonna be missing out a big part of my life. But I thought saying, hey, there's actually a really good why for me to not do this. It was really inspiring for me to actually go and commit to it for a long period of time. If you want more videos like this, make sure to subscribe to the channel. This is a little bit different than our business videos, but it's to help you on your own life journey. Noticing when I wanted to drink is a really interesting thing, which is, what are the moments that I'm actually like, oh man, I really wanna drink? And I noticed there's kind of 3 moments. So one is when I wanna just relax. Take the edge off, I guess is what they call it. And so it's like, I've had a long week, it's a Friday, I've just made a bunch of videos, we had a tough meeting or whatever it is, and I'm home and I'm just like, another one is I'm at a happy hour, I'm at someone's party, or I'm doing something I don't want to be doing and I want to escape. And drinking is a way of being physically there, but mentally I'm somewhere else. And so being sober, I'm like, get the hell out of there. Or if I want to take the edge off, it's like, huh, you want to take the edge off? What actually do you want to take off? Why do you want this edge off? And are there other alternatives? Maybe it's sleepy time tea. Maybe it's reading. Maybe it's taking a bath. Lately I've been taking Epsom salt baths. And the last part is I want to be enhancing an experience. I was out boating with Neville and Chris Dunn. It was sunny out, we're having a good time, and I was drinking 4 non-alcoholic beers, which we'll talk about in a bit. And I was like, oh man, having a little bit of buzz this moment would just be really, really sweet. And so maybe for yourself, just notice when the drinking is coming up like you want to, for the good reason or maybe bad reason, and be okay with either, but just be mindful of that. And that's something that's been interesting for me to notice. So number 2, noticing your emotions without drinking. I gotta tell you, like, I have had arguments with my ex-girlfriend because we were both drinking and things got escalated and there's like an argument, bags are packed, things are said, and the next day you're like, what? What were we arguing about? I even had something like that with my good buddy Eric. We were playing pinball and we had some stupid ass arguments making fun of me. And if drinking wasn't there, this is months ago, I'm pretty sure we wouldn't have the argument or had some weird conversation, or you wake up and it's like, did we argue last night? I don't really remember, but I definitely see some Taco Bell wrappers. And I think what's been fascinating is that your emotions aren't as high, but at least you're more aware of them when you're not drinking. And so Sam Parr, who had put out a great video about how he became sober, is that he said something to me a while ago that really stuck with me about not drinking. He's like, the ups and downs aren't as good, but overall I'm happier. Sign me up for that. So your emotions are your actual emotions. There's no hiding it, there's no inflating it, but it's also kind of a superpower if you can handle all these different situations as an adult. And one thing to consider is I was hanging out with my nephew recently. I love that children never drink and they can just have fun and curiosity and joy without it. And that's something that honestly is inspiring to me, is like, we can have all these things if we want to give it to ourselves. You can still be unhappy and not drink. So I equated a lot of the times that I would drink, I'd wake up hungover and I'm like, oh, I'm unhappy, it's because I drank or I did other things and now I'm feeling crappy in the morning. And what was strange is like a week or 2 ago, I woke up and I'm unhappy. And I'm like, no, this can't happen. This is not allowed because I haven't been drinking. I'm guaranteed happiness. It's supposed to be happy because there's no drinks involved. I think the beauty of not drinking and what's been grateful, and I'm saying it for myself as a message to me as well as to you, is that at least I feel that I'm not drinking, I'm equipped to address why I'm unhappy. And maybe it's just like, hey, it's okay to be unhappy for a little bit and move forward and just feel these feelings. Or I'm unhappy about some things, like maybe it's in my work. Then now with the clear mind, I can actually go and address. I can't say that drinking has always led me to being unhappy, but being sober today has definitely made it easier to address the different problems that I am facing in myself. So number 4, there are so many non-alcoholic beverages today that are amazing. Let me just give you a few shout outs that I love. HighShirley.com wine. I just invested in them because I loved it so much. Athletic Brewing. I tried to invest, they said no, but their non-alcoholic beer is amazing. Hoppy Refreshers. It's by Lagunitas. It is so good. And I will tell you, I've given people like oatmeal stout by Beverages. I didn't tell them there's alcohol and they didn't even know. And the reality is that in my mind, when I'm having a non-alcoholic beer, it tastes like the beer, my mind thinks it's the beer, but I'm not having any of the side effects like eating extra food or feeling really dizzy or having a hangover in the morning, but I'm getting all the benefit of, oh, it's actually quenching my thirst, and I do enjoy the sensation of the alcohol-ish flavor. Now, I would say 10 years ago, this would be a harder thing to do because O'Doul's or Beck's or some of the non-alcoholic beers that are available kind of tasted like crap, but Heineken Zero and a lot of these other options are so damn good that it's actually a better alternative, plus less calories than the real thing. Number 5, not having to worry about the morning. This is a surprising one. If you drink, you know that you're like, well, I don't know if I can plan something Saturday or Sunday morning because I'm gonna be out drinking the night before and I don't know how the morning's gonna turn out. Has anyone else done that? If you drink, you know what I'm talking about. Every single morning I'm available. There's no hangover, there's no excuse. I'm not going to a meeting and be like, dude, I'm tired, man. Or, oh, I don't know if I can make that. We'll see how it goes on a bike ride. That's a blessing. I get all of my mornings back. And what I've always wondered about drugs and alcohol is that, is the 10 minutes or 2 hours of this drink worth the next day or 2 days of your life off? No, it's almost never worth the return. Like when you invest the 4 hours of alcohol, the 2 days of being hungover, never worth it. And so having mornings back and having clear mind on those mornings has been a blessing. Thank you, Non-Alcoholic Beers, for making my mornings better. Number 6, community helps. If you're in AA, it's awesome. If you have a sponsor or someone to talk to, that's awesome. For myself, I go to reddit.com/r/stopdrinking. And that has been a surprisingly positive, helpful community. Now, I haven't posted this period. I haven't said, hey, I haven't drank, but reading the comments, reading the stories has been really uplifting and inspiring me to just keep going on this journey. The other thing that I would say is part of the community is, who are you surrounding yourselves with? I had a party at my house about a month ago and there was no one drinking there, and someone actually commented like, hey, do none of your friends drink? And I was like, I guess not. And so it's been interesting that we're shifting more away from that stuff. And honestly, being around people who aren't drinking makes my life a lot easier to not even have to make that decision. So figure out, how can you find a positive, supportive community to put yourself around, or give yourself activities to kind of keep yourself occupied in so you're not even thinking about drinking. Number 7, this is surprising, the stigma of not drinking. Now, when I tell you I'm not drinking nowadays, a lot of people's first thought is, he must have been a raging alcoholic. That is our society still thinking, which is still weird to me. There's a lot of trends on YouTube. I know Tim Ferriss talks about psychedelics and non-alcoholic ways of enjoying life. And so I think that's a really cool thing about, wow, it's becoming normal. Like cigarettes, remember back in the day, maybe you don't. You could smoke in stores, you can smoke in restaurants. Now when someone smokes, it's like, really? They vape, which is fine, not as bad. And it's just like, oh, that has become a normalized thing. And I do think alcohol is gonna trend in that direction. I don't think it'll ever go away. There are times that alcohol is more fun. But there's definitely a lot where it's like, hey, maybe this is actually making your life better. Number 8, this is an interesting, surprising thing, is dating. Now, one thing I thought of from time to time is, what is the last time I went on a date and kissed completely sober? And so challenging myself to do that and doing that during this period, it's like, do you really want to go on a date with this person? Do you really want to kiss this person? And what kind of dates do you have? Because it's like, I'm not asking someone to go, hey, do you want to go to a bar and have a drink? Because that's not what I'm going to be doing right now. The dates I've had is like, hey, let's go cooking. Hey, let's go for a walk. Hey, let's go for a bike ride, and actually get to know each other. I've got to say, it's been a blessing in disguise dating sober, because what I believe, it's pure and it's intentional. It's, hey, do I actually like this person's company? Do I want to be talking to them? Not like, hey, if I drink, they look better. All right, we're drunk, you know, whatever. We just were drunk. And I like that intentionality about it, and it's made dating probably harder in a way where I'm not dating as much, but also better because the dates I'm going on, I think, are higher quality interactions between me and the other person. Number 9, this is the last surprising thing, is normality. It's just normal now to not drink. I'm not thinking on a Friday night, I'm gonna go to a bar and have drinks with someone, or hey, let's go happy hour and get crazy. It's just not part of it. And yes, I do come home and have a non-alcoholic oatmeal stout, or maybe I'll have some High Shirley fake wine, but it's become a way of life where it's just not a part of my life, which I have to kind of remind myself I'm not drinking. What's been interesting is the other side of that. I will say, when I do drink, there's definitely like, hey, it's normal that Friday night is drinking and Tuesday night we're out at happy hour, I'm gonna be drinking, and then Sunday morning it's Bloodies, and I love a good Bloody Mary with a Jameson shot. And that did become normal, and you honestly just kind of get used to it and you do look forward to it. The other side of that is true. When you're not drinking alcohol, it just becomes normal over some period of time. And noticing the moments when you are drinking, either avoiding it or finding ways to supplement it with maybe ice cream and desserts, which now I treat myself to that. Or getting yourself non-alcoholic beers, or finding some other alternative where you're feeling rewarded and not feeling like you have to need a drink to feel good about your life. I want to challenge you, yes, the underdogs in the audience watching this video, to going sober for the next 30 days. So leave a comment below if you're going to commit to it, and then come back in 30 days and tell us what you learned. I'd be really excited how that experience has been for you and how it's changed your life. I am not drinking until we find AppSumo's next CEO, and maybe I won't even drinking beyond that. If you want to see the story about how we're hiring and behind the scenes of AppSumo's next CEO, check out this video right up here. If you want more videos on business journeys and life stuff like this, make sure to subscribe to the channel. I'll see you out there, and I love you. Pew, pew.